Most of us use Google, DuckDuckGo, or any other search engines to locate information on the internet. What you may not know is that attackers actually use these search engines to gather very, very sensitive information that is exposed on the internet, and of course that these crawlers from these search engines can pick up, right? Now, this includes links to websites that have login pages or even passwords that are publicly disclosed or publicly exposed on the internet, right? So an attacker can absolutely take advantage of these and, of course, get a lot of information about their victim. Now, having said that, if I actually go and open my browser here or maximize this browser, there is a website called the Exploit Database or ExploitDB. And this website is basically a community effort, is specifically maintained by an organization called Offensive Security. However, in this website, anybody can actually upload an exploit for a system. We will discuss and explore these type of exploits later in the presentation. However, what I want to draw your attention to is the second option on the navigation bar here that is called GHDB. If you click on that, that stands for Google Hacking Database. And what it is a collection of different search strings that you can put in Google and obtain information about a lot of different things. Pages containing login portals, online devices that should not be exposed on the internet, sensitive directories, and even if you do a quick search and just type the word password, you see files containing passwords, right? If you click on that, this category will actually filter all of them that are related. And if you see right now, cPanel username, if you click on that, basically takes you to this Google search string, if you will. If you click on that, it will take you to Google, right? And basically in Google, you will be able to see that some of the results, actually most of them in here, are including some usernames and passwords. And again, all this is public information. I am not hacking anybody. This is information that should not be exposed to the internet. Now, a big disclaimer. There are organizations that put intentional vulnerable applications and things on the internet, what we call honeypots and honeynets, which is a collection of those devices, that they actually try to attract attacker traffic, basically from an attacker perspective, it's kind of like a decoy, or basically to attract the malicious, transactions so they can study it and then, of course, use that information to better protect their organization and see the true tactics and techniques. So some of these may be that, some of these results will include some sample documentation, but a lot of them, they will actually include real people's passwords, right? So again, that's only one category or one example out of hundreds, as you see, many different pages with many of them in here, right? From sites like pastebin.com, right? That because of breaches and, many other things have been very well known to be exposing a lot of, really bad things on the internet, right? Including username and passwords of what we're showing in here. But again, tons and tons and tons of different results that an attacker can do. Now, you as an ethical hacker should never, and I repeat, never use that information for any type of purpose for systems that you do not have permission to test. So in other words, even if I am actually seeing some username and passwords in here for different things, it may be servers that will be definitely vulnerable, or, of course, you can log in. In some cases, I saw a couple of them as administrator, right? Not because this information is exposed to the internet, that means that you have permission to do this, right? So very, very, very important. We're going to be covering later the word scope, which is basically what you can do or cannot do with any system or information, and this is actually one of the initial things in a penetration testing or red team engagement that you discuss with whoever hire you, right? Basically, that scope will define what you can and you cannot do. And in this case, we do not have permission to use any of this information, even if it's actually exposed to the internet. So in the next few lessons, we're actually going to be going over other types of techniques that you can continue to use for building your attack plan and performing footprinting and passive reconnaissance.